Okay, I am going to show you how to apply these gel strips. So these ones are called Pink Prism and they are a sparkly pink goodness. So I have just applied one hand and I did that live on Facebook and then my computer died, so go figure. So I'm going to show you today how I apply my gel strips. So gel strips are made out of gel enamel. If you've seen one of my application videos on lacquer strips, they are applied very, very much the same, except that these are made out of gel, so they don't dry out when you open a packet, so they're a bit easier for storage. And they're gel enamel, so they last a little bit longer than the lacquer strips for most people. The other really cool thing about these is that they require no UV lamp or exposure. So normally traditional gel manicures mean that you need to cure under a UV lamp. These require no UV lamp, which is pretty awesome. Before you start applying your gel strips, you always prep your nails, so that involves pushing back the cuticles so that we can get a really clear, we want the gel strip adhering to the nail and not to any sort of invisible cuticle that might be sitting on top of the nail. And then it's always a good idea to go and wash your hands just to get rid of any oils or dirts that might be there. And then the last step before you apply your nails is to get a nail prep wipe. So you may have some rubbing alcohol, or you can get these little nail prep wipes that you can get. It's just rubbing alcohol, and you just wipe each of the nails down just so that there are no oils left on the nail. And then you just let them air dry for a second or two, and then let's get started. So you can, if you've got an orange stick, you can use an orange stick to peel your gel strip off the clear backing. I find that because it's clear, it's easy to kind of work out what size. You can kind of wrap it around and try and work out what size is going to fit what finger best. I'm going to lift this one up. I reckon this would be really good for my middle finger. And then I apply it. These do have a round edge and a square edge. So my cuticles are a bit rounded, so I'm going to put the round edge towards my cuticle, and then I just sort of push down when I'm happy that I've kind of got it in the right space or the right place. Make sure that it's not on too crooked. And then what I do is I push from the cuticle to the tip, and then I go around the side and then around the other side. And then I sort of just make sure that it's smooshed on there, applying as much pressure as I can with my other thumb. And that's about as easy as it is. And then I cut off the excess. Now, unlike some other, if you've tried our lacquer strips, you can usually get 2 nails out of one tab. These end up being quite a lot shorter. So I usually can't get another finger out of the one gel strip, but what I do is often if I'm doing my toes, these are really good. So I do tend to keep them for when I do my toes. Alright, let's go up to then get another one. I might use this one because my fingers are a bit smaller. So again, I'm going to use the rounded side, pop it to a cuticle, and then from here push up to the tip, and then around that side, and then around this side, and then just smush it on. You don't need any heat, no specific tools really. It's pretty easy to work with these. No curing time, no dry time. You don't need another coat over the top, so you can just leave them as is once you've applied them. and they're good to go. What I would recommend is don't go and wash the dishes straight away. I always recommend that you sort of wait an hour or so, just to allow time for the gel strips to sort of really set. Actually, I will put, I'm going to do all gel strips today. I will put this one on. Just to allow them to kind of set and allow them to sort of stick properly before you submerge them in water. So, filing the tips off. I use a nail file. You can use your glass nail file. You can use cuticle clippers if you want, to get rid of the excess. Generally what I try and do is file a little bit on this angle. So rather than going like this, where I might take too much off the tips and then it will look like it's already a bit worn, I try and go under here to kind of keep the length as much as possible, but get rid of any of that excess that's on the tips. And you always want to go in a downward motion. You never want to go up, because you don't want to lift the gel strip up off the nail. And you can see that then this extra bit of nail has just sort of peeled off really nicely. Let's do these ones too. So I just like to keep as much of the length as possible. If you do have short nails, you may prefer to use a nail clipper. The nail clippers mean that you don't need to worry about filing. All I would suggest is that you get a little bit of the nail and the lacquer strip at the same time and kind of press to kind of seal that bit of that end there. So. Alright, and that's it. So that is my beautiful gel sparkly manicure, done in what, like 10 minutes I think it took to do an entire hand. No UV light, no heat, no crazy tools, and